So I'm going to take a little bit of time today walking around some used tractors here at the store and point out some things that kind of jump out to me. Now, these things should be in the back of your head for a couple of different reasons. If you're shopping for a used piece of equipment, some of these things might help you pick out a good one, so they're worth paying attention to. Or if you're looking at trading or selling your tractor, some of these things might help optimize the amount of money that you're going to get for your machine.
Essex, a helping hand with your land.
Now, a lot of people with an untrained eye, when they start looking at equipment, are going to see things like this backhoe right here and work their way up across here and see grease and dirt and grime. And when we look at this kind of stuff from the dealership side, we see it a little bit differently. Dirt to us isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's just a machine that was being used. And when we look at pivot points and stuff like this and we see all this gloppy black crap around in here, that's grease. It means somebody has been maintaining this backhoe and keeping after it. So to us, dirt and grease and that kind of stuff that's in the right places isn't something that we typically are going to pay attention to. Now, while we don't care about the dirt so much, sun fade does really stand out to us. When people are evaluating tractors and putting a monetary dollar value on an expensive purchase like this, the paint and the condition of the machine there does start to matter. The dirt can be washed off, we can see through that pretty easily, but the quality of that paint can't be changed so easily. Now, the paints that are used in tractors across the industry are not automotive grade paints, despite them being oftentimes automotive price tags. And when these machines are in southern states, this one made its way up here from Florida, you'll see the UV can be really hard on these and can age a tractor pretty quickly. So dirt, I can get over that. Faded paint though, that one's a little harder. Next up is your hour meter. You're gonna notice this machine right here is right about 175. There's two things that you can look here. Sometimes in this equipment, we all kind of like, if we're shopping for a used car, you have this mental point that a machine rolls over a certain number on the odometer and that number meant something, say 50 or 100,000 miles. We'll see that same kind of thing sometimes with equipment when you're rolling to another digit. So when you're going from say 99 to 100, mentally something happens at that point and maybe you're gonna expect a little bit less money for it at that point. From that point forward though, the same thing's gonna happen up until you get to that say 999 to 1,000, right? We'll watch that again. Another thing that we kind of keep in the back of our head too are potential maintenance costs. If the prior owner has not been keeping up with the maintenance schedule of the machine, each one of these machines is going to be a little different and there's going to be an interval in here where work needs to be done. Now, if that work has to be happening in the dealership, either we're paying for it or you're paying for it. So hour intervals like a machine approaching 50 hours for its first oil change, or say 250 or 500 when it's going to need a significant transmission oil change, may impact the value of a machine. On the subject of maintenance, another thing that we keep an eye out for is whether initial break-in maintenance has been done on the real low hour machines. When these things are manufactured, they will spin the engine filters or the transmission filters onto the machine and then run it down the paint line. So on most equipment, when it's brand new, you'll notice the filters are painted the same color as what the engine or the transmission is. So we are very easily able to tell the last time that the service has been done on that machine. We really particularly like the people who will go through with a Sharpie and write the hours and date intervals on those filters to show the last time it's been done. We can pick up pretty quickly on the people who are keeping up with the maintenance on their machines and those that are not. When you see what's going on up here, what do you think? I certainly go through and modify and tweak my equipment, adding things like work lights and hydraulics, that kind of stuff. It adds utility to my machine. It makes it nicer to use. It's better for my application. But homegrown mods are often not a great value to your trade-in value. When we go through, we see things like this, lights that were moved out, hacked on work lights, somebody's backup camera, some dangling wires up here. This doesn't give a whole lot of confidence to the quality of the work that was done on this machine. So having the right kits that fit your tractor correctly, investing in, say, work light kits with tidy wiring or third function valves that are actually made for your machine, those things can add value to your tractor, but the less expensive routes of getting this stuff done, if it doesn't look right, it doesn't fit right, it doesn't function right, those could be a real detriment to the perception of your equipment. One thing that's really easy to overlook or gashes in the tires. It's hard to see the whole way around these things and know if there was some kind of damage to them. But if you've gone over and say driven over top of a piece of angle iron or something and cut into some of these lugs or gotten down into the meat of the tire, you can spend thousands of dollars really quickly replacing tires. There's more here to pay attention to than just the treads wearing down. Now, if you just walk past this tractor here, you might roll on by and maybe nothing jumped out at you, but maybe it did. If you looked over here, you're gonna notice a bunch of physical damage to this machine. So see this step right here? And if we look back here behind the mounting for the loader valve, clearly they struck something here and pushed these pieces back. Now, we're gonna take them into the shop, probably replace this step, heat this valve up, push that back into place. These things can be corrected, but you wanna pay attention to that kind of physical damage. There's a lot of things on a tractor and it's pretty easy to walk around and overlook this kind of stuff. You want to be particularly careful on tractors that you've seen equipped with grapples. When you start putting a grapple into the machine and start driving back into the woods, grabbing brush, grabbing branches, it's really easy for those things to sneak around your loader or your brush guard and start punching holes into your headlights and scraping up your hood. So that's a tractor that you want to pay a little bit more attention to. If you see signs that grapple usage was part of the history of that machine, be a little cautious. There's great operators out there that can get away with it, but there's a lot of times that we see those machines get beat up pretty quick. When we start getting the big farm tractors, I'm gonna go around the back here. We're not even gonna talk about the tires. I know the tires are huge and awesome. We got some new stuff to think about. When you go around to the PTO on farm equipment, when you'll start to get options here on your PTO shaft on the back. Big tractors like this will have big 1,000 or small 1,000. Lower horsepower might have 1,000 or 540 shafts that can be swapped in and out. It is probably 50-50 when we take trade-ins whether these things end up getting lost or not. And if you need to go buy one, you're buying a piece of machined and hardened steel, you can spend $1,000 on one of these real quickly. So pay close attention. If you have a machine that's got swappable shafts, make sure they're all included with it. Now, we talked about condition earlier and our ability to see through some dirt, but I do give kind of one caveat to that. When you look at tractors like this and you start to see machines that were stored outside, but to the point that they started to get mildew on them, and the owner didn't take the time to wash this stuff off and keep it clean. I mean, my goodness, look back here. We've even got a tree growing in the dirt on the floor mats. If you're not taking the time to go through and at least maintain your equipment, those things pop out to me and should to the next buyer too. Now, we talked about base and powertrain warranty that take care of the whole machine or the engine and transmission. But many of your machines have a third warranty that's often overlooked. If you have a tractor over 25 horsepower for about the last 12 years or so, you have an emission system on your machine. And the EPA mandates a minimum of a 5-year emissions warranty on this equipment. Some companies go above and beyond that and will even give years more. So if you have a machine that has a DPF, a dock, an oxidation catalyst, the great blue fuel tank down here that we all love with DEF fluid, any of those solutions are going to have some kind of emissions warranty on it. And if you have trouble with one of these systems, they can be costly to repair. So there's great value in that remaining warranty on the used market. So I'm working on this tractor behind me here today, and it's a great example of bringing things to a dealership that are ready to sell. We're gonna value something the best when it is in ready to sell condition, or a new buyer is going to value it the best when there's not things that they need to wrench on. I understand that you might get frustrated with a machine, you have something that's broken, you just don't want to deal with it, and you send it in here to us, but you take a hit when you do that kind of thing. And let me show you here. This tractor right here looks great. Popular machine, great model, good series, paint looks good. The gas strut's broken up here on the door, and somehow all the linkage for the range selection is laying down there on the floor. These are all things that we're gonna have to run through the shop and rectify before we can begin to market a machine like this. So keep those things in mind. They have a real detrimental impact on the value of a machine. So that's a couple of things that you can keep an eye out for if you're shopping for a used tractor, or if you're trying to trade one in and you want to make sure you maximize the value you can get out of it. Check the list on these things. It might help you out a little bit. So we've spent a lot of time on Messiks.com making sure we've got some of the best used equipment listings on the internet. You'll find an easy to browse website with great descriptions and pictures and stuff of all the machines that's on our lot. So shopping for a piece of equipment and we can help you, can give us a call at Messiks. We're available at 800-222-3373 or online at Messiks.com. Right here. You're not recording, are you? Ah!